Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my Commonwealth of Man playthrough. We're just about to jump back into the Gargantua system. It'll be about 3 days. And we can begin this special project. It should take a year to complete. United Latrepian Domains broke their migration treaty with the autocracy of Rakaron. I'm watching all of their fleets shuffle around over here. I have no idea where they're going, and for some reason
Inbound message traffic.
Can't select them. I don't know why. Star Realm of Shar would like a non-aggression pact. Sorry, but no. I am trying to build my influence. I don't need more things draining it at this time. I've got enough defensive pacts going on. Got more dividends from the Fortress Legionnaires, got a chunk of minerals from it, as well as some food. We have a new proposal. Reverence for life. The horror of war on the scale of interstellar empires is a terrible thing. We should do what we can to limit its excesses to active combatants. I believe this has been proposed before. It makes purging and the use of world crackers banned. I'm opposed to it. It's the Kel Nudaran Serene Administration who wants that passed. Actually, are they somebody's subject? I don't see. There's proposed subjugation. We must be at peace to do it. I was thinking of starting to snag up a lot of these little independents. Verzak Galactic Technocracy is in a migration treaty with the Miravandian Coalition. Equipped with a state-of-the-art singularity reactor, the central core will cover most of the Nexus's energy needs. It will also connect the future research facilities. The Science Nexus central hub is now in place, equipped with a state-of-the-art singularity reactor. Our engineers are preparing to add the next most challenging segment of the facility, the 4 research wings. They will be fitted with pioneering technology, able to withstand everything from violent heat to intense pressure waves and alien pathogens. They will also provide housing for our many researchers. We've come a long way. The research wings will contain most of the labs and provide housing for the scientists. They come with multiple security chambers to allow for complete lockdown of various areas if necessary. 10 more years till we get the next stage of our Science Nexus completed.
Ships refitted.
Medusa is now fully refitted. So my new Eye of Medusas should have the upgraded kinetic artillery. Still didn't quite get to 100k. United Nations of Earth broke the research agreement with the sovereignty of Tuxcali. We got an orbital ring done in the Kornagi system. That's the one over Truett. We don't really need additional districts here right now. I mean, I would get a mining district and a city district for 2 additional districts. After that, anything extra would just be city districts. So I don't really think we need to spend our time doing that. What we do is put 2 orbital anchorages here for now. And eventually we'll upgrade this, because the main reason I built this was to do the buildings for benefiting energy production and food production. But now that this guy is done here in the Kornagi system, he can relocate to Shaula to get ready to put another gateway site up. Rishethian State is in a migration treaty with the Genlot Conclave.
Science Division report success.
Hierarchy of Moffith built a gateway. Durasteel infrastructure. Advances in metallurgy permit us to build vastly larger and more durable structures, greatly improving the infrastructure of our colonies. Create a resort world, but again, I don't have a planet I could designate for it. Let's get the living state purely for the 10% more faction unity. We'll have that in 7 months. Polagar finished its Titan. Federician League is no longer a valid rival for our empire. Have they gained in power or lost? Looks like they've lost. Yeah, they're now pathetic. Well, I know the Citizens Alliance of Organ Fung is now a valid rival. So, as soon as the month clicks over, we can do that. But right now, we just completed the Hippogriff Matron, so I can modify this to be all kinetic artillery. And it looks like we're going to have to lose some shields. See, if I lost that shield, I could lose that reactor booster and get more shield capacitor out of it. So I don't think our shields will be modified that much. 10.2 thousand versus, let's go ahead and save this design. Though, actually, I can do that again. Let's see. Yeah, we lost 800 points of shield doing that. And gained 400 points of hull. Overall, I think that's... Oh, I forgot to replace the kinetic artillery this time around. There we go. Now, my final Titan is currently under construction. By the time it comes out, all of my fleets should be fully upgraded, I believe. Minor military sanctions passed, and we ended up getting a favor with the Federicians. Next up should be the minor research sanctions. Federician League is in a migration treaty with the Soran.
Special project complete.
The constant calculator. The metallic orb has been opened up. Our hacking team has been able to use the outgoing signal as a gateway into one of the auxiliary CPUs of the sphere. We're receiving some data from it and can tell it's been scanning the black hole Gargantua for a very long time. It is old. Very old. This constant calculator now lies within our grasp of understanding. If we push harder, we might find out what it is doing here and who built it, what marvels it might contain. There's always a self-destruct switch. Find it. Well, it's not doing anything damaging so far. I think the better idea is to figure out what it's doing first. Hello, hello. Nice to meet you. Hello? It's quite enjoyable to pass the time with pleasantries, is it not? We hope the rest of your kind is not like you were when you did not take kindly to small talk. You see, we don't get to enjoy conversation much anymore. Few are well versed enough in the finer points of quantum programming to reach us, so thank you. We are the Infinity Machine. Your words, not ours. Or has that not happened yet? Either way, it will eventually. Trust us. What are you? We are what we are, the ones who calculate. You call us the Infinity Machine, or will at least. 'Tis not a truthful name, but it is well suited to highlight the ingenuity of our design. We will tell you our history now, as we have done many times before. Oh, right. We need to convey it in words. That's new. Or is it? It's hard to keep track of you all. We were constructed, in the crudest sense of the word, in order to solve a problem. We solved it. Then we needed more problems to solve. We now only have one left. Wish to know your purpose here? We are calculating infinity. No more, no less. Or actually, it is way more and way less. That is the problem right there. We understand that your manner of life form won't understand, but that's all right. You never will, and we apologize. Or maybe we will do eventually. We are here to solve the infinity conundrum, the last calculation to ever be, the lone problem to take hold of our processors for more than a fraction of a galactic year. In case you haven't discovered that calendar yet, it's a very long time. For your kind, that is. Can we assist in your research? Well, perhaps. We could finish this about 7.5 times 10 to the negative 9% if we could borrow your most advanced processing unit, as well as your brightest minds. We would be satisfied in finishing faster. We wish to know the answer. So we could get a project to understand infinity, or just get 100 influence. 100 influence is tempting right now. That will knock 10 months off of me banking up to claim something down here. But we'll allocate our resources.
New sitrep.
You already did. Or maybe that was the ones who came before. It matters not. The task shall finish. We are excited. In order to assist the Infinity Machine, we need to aid it in its scans of the black hole Gargantua. Receiving information from a black hole is impossible, but the Infinity Machine appears to have a method of accessing its gravitational data and getting information out of it. It simply takes a very long time. We only need to lend it our processing power, easing its computational burden by a tiny fraction. It will take 5 years. We'll go ahead and research that project. So this will tie up her for about 5 years. Is that gonna risk her death? Yes, unfortunately. We should probably put a younger researcher over here, because she already has a risk of death. Alright, where are you? You're in the Consu. That one, I believe, is the one assisting research on Finhabanus. You're level 6. Actually, we'll get the one out of the Emissary. What is the Emissary doing? It's the one in Tanab. So let's go back to our ship. And we haven't really started yet, so we should be able to unassign this leader and put Wu in there and switch her over here. The one in the Dultari system, the Wayfarer, is the one that came back from being booted out. I just immediately had it start assisting research on Leffingwell. That's not really that necessary. Let's see, if I were to cloak. Your detection is exceptional, grade 3. I could not cloak outside of these areas, and I do not see a colony inside the nebula that I could do detection on. Yeah, there are tomb worlds in there they can colonize, but they haven't yet. Well, we'll just send him to Marik Station and make him idle, just in case we get a war that direction. Or we could actually go to the Caspadine system, since we're about to get a gateway there. Yes. Betarysian League are in a migration treaty with the Verzak. We got an influential human professional in the United Nations of Earth. An academic. That's another one that's good for stealing technology. Alright, let's go ahead and immediately acquire another asset. I want to get a subterfuge. Adnorium Imperium declared us their rival. There's the Remnant. They're over here attacking the United Nations of Earth. They came through an L gate, possibly? Or some other gateway? Or the wormhole. I bet they came through the wormhole. So I think we are going to have to get wormhole stabilization. It doesn't appear that other people stabilizing the wormhole has helped us, because they still seem to be able to use it. Safe station's going to be tied up for another 3 years, so I'm going to relocate Pegasus to Polagar to get its reinforcements, so that I don't have to worry about them being in transit.
Science Division reports success.
More powerful version of the particle lance, this weapon fires a tachyon beam of immense power. Like its predecessor, its use is limited to battleships and Titans. We can get the upgraded arc emitter, or start on the sentry array. Arc emitter would take 2 years. Sentry array would take... Let's get the arc emitter. That's the final upgrade for it, I believe. Now if we go to ship designer, Tachyon Lance is not available for Titans. They use Titan weapons, not X-Class weapons. I guess you were supposed to be able to swap out the Titan weapons for the upgraded versions, but... yeah, so we're working on the upgraded arc emitter. We now have the Tachyon Lance. Still no power issues on the Nesting Dragon. And that should be, apart from armor, its final upgrade for anytime soon. So we can go ahead and have Dragon upgrade again. Doesn't take too awfully much to upgrade those battleships. The Allied Multics broke off their research agreement with the United Nations of Earth. Alright, this is now down to 70-something days. So I'm going to go to reinforce, because I believed it was going to take 70 days to churn them out at Polagar. And we will just have 4 more queued up at Polagar. We're getting close to capping on energy credits, so let's go ahead and buy 500 more dark matter. We're good on those others. We'll just get a whole bunch of alloys. That ought to be a decent amount for now. Citizens Alliance of Orcam Fung is starting a Science Nexus, Crash and Burn Savelli.
Ships refitted.
Strike Force Dragon has been refitted. United Nations of Earth broke their migration treaty with the Allied Multics. One of my scientists has died at the age of 112. That was the one that was working on the focused arc emitter. I believe I have a spare scientist. Actually, I have a few spare scientists. This one in the Asperity. The one in the Wayfarer we can spare, yeah. Erudite, Maniacal, that's 10% bonus right there. Actually, where's the one in the Voyager? Oh, that's the one at Gargantua. That's a pity, because that one would have had, well, the same amount, 10%. So yeah, we'll take Bogdan. He wasn't doing anything else. Still about 2 years. Miravandian Coalition is in a migration treaty with the United Nations of Earth. United Nations of Earth have started building their Science Nexus. As always, they're overreaching. We actually beat...
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
The United Nations of Earth to the Science Nexus. The living state. The Empire lives. The Empire breathes. We may make up its body, but it is not for the left hand to know what the right hand is doing. Tomb World adaptation. Apart from being a fairly cheap tech, there's not really much point to that. Ancient Ruination. Oh, there's another Titan weapon. That one decimates armor. That might actually be a good one for Medusa, the Eye of Medusa. And we are archaeo-engineers. So yeah, let's work on that one. We'll have it in about 12 months. United Nations of Earth broke their commercial pact with the Allied Multics. Yeah, I think they and the Allied Multics are about to have a disagreement. They're starting to drop all their treaties. And we have allelic expression. Selectively targeting sequences allows for artificial atavism, in which previously regressed traits can be expressed. This gives us an additional species trait pick and allows us to alter our species appearance, much like I did with robots in the previous one. This is also going to complete the genetics tree and give us access to transgenesis technologies and 2 more gene modification points. Gone are the days when the survival of our species was at the mercy of chance, when a human's fate was decided on the whims of nature in the genetic lottery. The engineers of our time work not in steel and concrete, but in the very building blocks of life itself. With advanced gene modification, we will secure the future of our nation. Now we have another Ascension perk. Now, for the meta, the proper choice here would be Defender of the Galaxy. Because everyone's opinion increased by 200 would really help out in getting resolutions passed and getting support, because a lot of people would like me, a lot of people would go for the resolutions I proposed, or resolutions that targeted me. However, we are not the Defender of the Galaxies at this point. I'm only interested in defending my territory. I couldn't care less about what happens to the empires that are not aligned with me. So the one I'm actually going to pick is the one I've got 2 I've been waiting on. I'd like the Colossus project, but that can wait until my next perk. I am going to get the Arcology project. Thus shall we make a world of the city and a city of the world. Now we only have 2 perks left. I know one of them will be the Colossus project because I want a Colossus in this game. Now that is one problem with habitats. If I were to, say, be a person who wanted to conquer and take over territory, and they had built a habitat above a colonizable world, it locks me out from building an orbital ring. Well, the only way to get rid of their habitat is with a Colossus. A Colossus can blow up a habitat. I wish they would add in the ability to dismantle gateways, hyper relays, and habitats. Basically anything you could build with a constructor, you should be able to tear apart with a constructor when you fully own the territory. Not just occupy, own. So I do want Colossus because I like playing around with the Colossus. Plus there are certain planets that I just want to obliterate. And that is going to be one of our remaining perks. For our final perk, I'm not sure which one I still want. I'm kind of still leaning toward Detox, because that would give me 5 extra colonies in my territory. Voidborn also is appealing, just for the additional building slots on habitats, and getting the advanced space habitat as a guaranteed one. However, Galactic Contender, and eventually possibly Defender of the Galaxy, are also appealing. So I still haven't decided on my final perk. I do know the next one will be the Colossus project. But now that we have the Arcology project, I think it takes 200 Yes, it takes 200 influence to do, and it takes 10 years to slowly shift over some of these colonies to ecumenopoli so that I can start making better use of it. The ecumenopolis benefits, if we go to Proclass, 15% more pop growth, pop assembly, 20% more resources from jobs. You combine that with our capitals bonuses of currently another 12.5% resources from jobs. That means I will get 32.5% resources from jobs just from the planet itself, which makes this another great research area. And being in Ecumenopolis and having districts for bureaucrats, I can switch both of these administrative complexes, which are sucking down 4 crystals a month, into 2 districts that will end up taking a total of only 2, so I'll half my crystal output there, which would free up a building slot to get an auto-curating vault and another research center. I can shift the hyper entertainment forums to a district, which will free up this slot for another research facility. And I could probably get rid of the gene clinics at this point for even more research. And I might choose to specialize rather than doing both. I don't know, I could keep it this way. But since I can only have one more building slot, it's not going to be one that's going to boost industry. It's going to be the orbital filing system to boost the clerks, the bureaucrats most likely. Now, since I'm already at the cap of my districts, I would have to give up industrial districts to get bureaucrats, but right now I'm providing a grand total of 20 artisan and 20 metallurgist jobs. If we go back to Proclass, one district here provides 6 metallurgist jobs or 6 artisan jobs. So I don't need all of my districts piled into foundry and factory to have the same amount of jobs I currently have, which does leave me some for the leisure arcology and the administrative arcologies. And we have unspent trait points on all of our species. Is there anything more we could do to humans? We have 3 points left. I could make them docile and cut down on my empire size. I currently have 600 humans, so that would be 60 points of empire size removed. I could improve their lifespan. I have 2 trait picks, so I could get 1 point back from something. Say, I could make them decadent, since we no longer are workers or slaves, and give them rapid fertile, so that they have more pop growth and less housing usage. Or I could further boost my leadership abilities with like quick learner. Yeah, we've got 2 trade picks we can do. I could give them quick learner so our leaders level up faster. Could give them adaptive back, but I don't think it's really necessary at this point in the game. And make them docile. Seems kind of weird for humans to be docile though, doesn't it? I mean, while that would give me the most benefit, it really doesn't fit with us. Rapid breeders might. Or we could pick up charismatic, because we do get amenities from some of the leader jobs, like merchants and politicians. And that would help further boost stability on a lot of our worlds. Though I actually think rapid breeders would be a better one, so that we make sure that our humans stay the most populous species. Yeah, if we apply that to our entire species,
New sit rep.
it would only take 4 months. Now we can see about modifying some of these others. I no longer keep the Gleer. Can I get rid of this template? I can. I don't think I'm going to be using the Kithen anymore. or the Besidon. Let's get rid of the Vingril. But I'll keep the Latrepians, Uthabulan, and Ubaric. But for the most part, I think I'm just going to modify species of worlds I take over to prime them to be leaders. But since these were like the first ones that I targeted, I think I will hang on to them. Now, I don't think I did any modifications of them. They need nerve stapled. They can't be solitary and have nerve stapled. Now they still have one spare point. I could cut down on their consumer goods. They don't use consumer goods. They're slaves. I could give them nomadic. That way it's cheaper to shift them from world to world. That's about the only one that's actually worth doing, I think. Now, is there any further modifications I need to do to them? They have 3 points. I could give them budding. That allows them to add more monthly organic pop assembly. But I think that would only apply when you're assembling them. I could make them delicious. These guys are farmers. I'm not going to be creating much more of these. We'll give them docile. And that would be the extent of their pigs. Actually, let's get rid of repugnant for fleeting. I mean, they don't have leaders for us anyway. And with that remaining 2 points, we can give them docile, so that they take up less empire size. If we go to the Ichnerval, yeah, since sometimes they may be clerks, getting rid of repugnant seems worthwhile. So these guys are already nerve stapled, very strong and industrious. We'll give them docile. Our warriors, let's get rid of repugnant for them. Now they can be enforcers that do produce unity, so I think we will give them traditional so that they produce a little extra unity. And there's no point to giving them nerve stapled because that would keep them from being enforcers. We could give them crystallization so that when I need to grow them, they grow more. They could actually have rapid breeders. Or we could also make them docile so that they take up less empire size. They're easy to control and manage. We just point them at an enemy and tell them kill. The Farine we will give slow learners and fertile so that they grow faster. The Praku, we have 4 points. These guys are in specialist jobs. Let's give them docile, communal so they take up less housing, and I guess we could give them nomadic so that they're cheaper to shift between worlds. Rogerians, we will add docile to them and get rid of repugnant. Although giving them repugnant keeps them out of the clerk jobs, I'm fine with them occasionally being in clerk jobs when we get too many and having a little bit more benefit. And I'll worry about the Ubaric, Uthabulans, and Latrepians when I need them. These guys are built for tomb worlds. Is there anything further I could give them? I could give them vat grown so that I can grow them faster with pop assembly. Give them docile, although I'm not going to have a whole lot of them. But yeah, the more we can cut down on our empire size from populations, the better. Well, while I was adjusting this, I accidentally canceled 2 destroyers that were 4 days away from completion. Kinda sucks. Controlled evolution. Genetically modify a species to possess traits worth 7 points or more. Is that what it said? Why is this so tiny? Even if I expand it, it's not gonna... Oh, you bastards. Yeah, just worth 7 points. Okay. The new format for this game overview takes a little getting used to. Yeah. We completed an orbital ring in the Obatellis system. Now I will get in position to put up the gateway at Marik. So Camelot now has its orbital ring. It does not really need habitation districts at the moment, so right now we will just do anchorages. Soran combined clans broke their migration treaty with the autocracy of Rakaron. Human refugees fleeing from the sovereignty of Tuxcali have arrived on Mindos. Let's go to Mindos. That is... I know I had just seen it. I was building something near it. Yeah, it's near Doran. So now we'll have some other humans to modify, I think. Yeah, we have one new human species type. At least they're not cyborgs. We'll modify them later. We are connected to the Veteresians, the Glosterhenians, and the Genlot. Because the hierarchy of Moffith are currently occupying that territory. Star Realm of Shar is taking back this area. Kesnum Confederacy is in a migration treaty with the Sorum.
New species variant available.
My humans are now modified. So the first thing I need to do is go through here and any humans, make sure any of them are the new species. Just had to make sure I wasn't growing humans on the planet where this other human was. So now we can remove our old template. I'd hate to waste an entire month just to flip that one human right now. We might get more. Farine are our next most populous. They're already docile. Followed by the Oxen Litter. We did not give them docile, but we did give them nerve stapled, which boosts their production. The Furbanites, we did give docile. So let us apply this one.
New sit rep.
It'll only take 2 months.
Construction complete.
We've got both of these new anchorages for now. 631k fleet from the Ganlarev Remnant over here just tearing up United Nations of Earth. Star Realm of Shar is guaranteeing the independence of the Veteresian League, and it went twice. I don't even see there's a Veteresian League one. Oh, the Soran and the Star Realms of Shar are both guaranteeing their independence. So much for declaring war on them at this point. We were pretty close to having our fleet sizes all the way up too. Pegasus has got a lot of reinforcements churning out. Adnorim Imperium broke their migration treaty with the Veteresians. About 2 years till they get their Titan.
New species variant available.
There we go, the Furbanites are modified. All of the ones that were breeding should be the new type. I'd already gone through and changed all the fixed ones to the new type where I could. It does remind me, though, I can get rid of the old template. Adnorim Imperium was given association status to the Allied Independent Systems. I thought they were part of the other Federation.
New species variant available.
We've modified all the Iknerval. I didn't have any planets assembling them, so shouldn't be an issue. Adnorim Imperium ended their association status with the Allied Independent Systems. That lasted a few days. Hierarchy of Moffith built another gateway. You know, we could roll our fleets over this direction to try and tangle with them, but right now I want all of my fleets done before I tackle that, because that is a huge fleet. It's going to take all of my fleet power combined. Of course, I could just have Fortress Legionnaires take point and send them over to smash these guys with all of my allies following me. But again, no rush on it. I'll let them wreak havoc on the people who are not my vassals. That gives me more political power because it knocks down their fleet strength while mine climbs. Alright, this is gaining too much traction. Are either of the other council members behind it? No. That's going to take 450 to veto. Yeah, all of the ones up here are ones I don't want up here. But the thing I really need to worry about is if either the Star Realm Mashar or the Sovereignty of Tuxcali are interested in these. Star Realm Mashar and Sovereignty of Tuxcali are both interested in Reverence for Life. So that one will need to be vetoed before Senate goes into recess. Otherwise, they will try an emergency measure on it. Any that are further down here, I think, will not end up passing. Both of them are interested in repealing regulated growth. Oh, we are currently in recess. They could bring that one up now. Damn it. I'm hoping they're too busy. And we had more human refugees on Hawksworth that I'm going to have to deal with during my maintenance.
New species variant available.
We modified the Praku. Hierarchy of Moffith built another gateway. Palov mycelium carriers. They've got a Titan headed this way. It's got a 72k fleet size. Strike Force Dragon is fairly equivalent to that. And we have our own Titans. We're coming here, just in case they are making their way up to there. It'll take us 5 months to get over there. So nice of the other empires to allow these assholes to use the hyper relay network. Federician League built their science nexus.
Construction complete.
These two star bases have finished their upgrades, so we will get a couple more anchorages, hydroponics bays, and an upgrade on each of them. Well, they're going... Yeah, they can't use the hyper relay into our systems, at least. That gave me a little bit of time to cover some distance. Not enough, though. We are still 3 months out. Now, this station is pretty big, but not big enough. It will do some damage to that Titan, and hopefully it will last 3 months for me to get over there. We'll see.
New species variant available.
We've modified the Rogerians. Only a few left to modify. It's going to drop us another 2 points in empire size.
Construction complete.
This Titan hasn't begun its attack yet, and we are now about 2 months away. Because it's going to be about 15 days of travel in the system from the Hypergate to get to the starbase. United Nations of Earth declared us a rival. Obtelis has its anchorages. And it should begin the combat pretty soon because it has a large aggro range. Each shot's pretty much taken out a defense platform. They're working on its armor. Its armor is down to a third already. Interstellar Picarian Coalition are in a migration treaty with the United Nations of Earth. Fel Null are in one with the United Nations of Earth as well. We are now about 20 days out. And I do need to check up on... Yeah, about 1 more month before this battleship is churned out, and we'll be leaving Poligar so that Hippogriff can begin its upgrades. We have about 200 minor artifacts banked, so that's about a 40% of what they need so far. They can start getting their upgrades done. How close are we to getting a tech? Not very. All those fighters zooming around it. Are they already working on its hull? They are! Go, boys! We have entered the system. Has that battleship turned out? 10 more days. Get him. Hierarchy of Moffith built a gateway. Has it been 10 days? 2 more. Alright, now we will go ahead and tell Hippogriff to begin its upgrades. And we will send Pegasus back home. Apparently we weren't needed. They did conquer that system. It's automatically using the jump drive. Oh, no, I did jump, didn't I? I initiated a jump there. Cancel that. No, it's automatically saying we're going to use the jump drive because the borders are closed there. I like that it auto decides to use the jump drive. So we need to get in here and retake the system for them. Tendrazun are working on it. No, we'll let the Tendrazun handle it, since they're in there. We will return back home and just keep an eye out. Interstellar Precarian have declared Tendrazun their rival.
New species variant available.
At Norum Imperium recalled their embassy. Now we are losing intel on them. We modified the Miravandian species. That dropped us another 6 in empire size. And I decided to divert Pegasus to Deneb and churn out their final reinforcements over in Deneb before they go to Safe Station. They've still got a year and a half before the Titan is churned out. Tendrazun declared Interstellar Precarian Coalition their rival. We have an influential human professional, a scientist. We are getting a lot of ones useful for research. Ah, yes, the scientist is also useful for preparing sleeper cells. So we can start sacrificing these others. We'll be able to steal technology in about a year, and then have to prepare sleeper cells in about 8 more years. Scientist Prasad has died at the age of 106. You were in the Nomad. What was the Nomad doing? It was in Austin. Where is that? Ah, you were assisting research. Let's go ahead and recruit a new one. Spark of Genius and Erudite, 15% to everything? Sure. Of course, Destinicon will not be... Well, I'll still have research there when it becomes an Ecumenopolis. Strike Force Pegasus already made it here before its first reinforcements churned out, it appears. So that they immediately joined in. Wait, now it's saying Strike Force Pegasus needs more. Oh, yeah. I've got to do the final reinforcements in January. United Latrepian Domains declared the Tendrazun their rival. Great. Another one of my vassals that does not like the Tendrazun. I like the Tendrazun. They've got holdings on a lot of my worlds. Oh, I was not paying attention and Reverence for Life made it in. Arg! We can shift it by 100,000. We need another 100,000. So we need Star Realm of favors with the Star Realm of Shar and the allied Multics, I believe. So let's offer a trade deal to them to grab some favors. First, we always start with the basics to see if they're interested in any of these. How about monthly? That's not enough value for how much it takes from me. They were interested in a little bit of food. They're very interested in consumer goods, it appears. Yeah, 1,000 food is pretty much all that they were interested in. Gases is what I have the most of. There we go. We can get the favors that way. And Star Realm of Shar was the other one we needed favors with. Now I'm going to spend a chunk of my influence right now, placing a claim here, so that hopefully we can pick it up during this war. I'm going to hang on to that until I can expand to nearby territories. I'm going to upgrade this to have a star base, get a shipyard, and build a constructor here so that we can get a gateway there and there so that we can rapidly get over here and start doing things. Of course, I won't get control of this until the war is actually over.
Construction complete.
I upgraded all of my anchorages. I'm not sure what I want is the final building here. More unity from deep space black sites, that might be the way to go. I can only build those in systems with colonies. So for the other systems, maybe mercenary garrisons in case I have to fight there, or comm jammers. There's not really any other buildings I really want here. This one would need the trade collection one. I will just leave it empty for now. I'll get that eventually. Actually, we'll go ahead and put a mercenary garrison here for now. There's a mercenary company in the... Oh, I can't. It already has one. Oh, it's missing a resource silo. We got 10 favors from the allied Multics for 1,000 food, 25,000 consumer goods, 2,000 motes, gases, and crystals. Star Realm of Shar, we traded 34,000 consumer goods and 1,000 motes, gases, and crystals for 7 favors. Miravandian declared Tenderzun their rival.
New species variant available.
We just completed the oxen litter, I believe it was. Alright, everybody's positive again. Apparently the autocracy of Rakaron dropped their rivalry, so we can get rid of the old oxen litter design. And we just have the Farine, the Mtok, and these new human refugees to deal with. Speaking of human refugees, there's now some more on Dawnlight.
New species variant available.
We just modified the Mtok species. I'm going to go ahead and modify the humans immediately, just so I can get rid of these other humans so it doesn't start breeding them.
New sitrep.
Even though we may pick up more. Autocracy of Rakaron is in a migration treaty with the Glosterhanian. What the hell? They're my rivals. Oh, good. Right now it's going to fail.
Variant available.
All right, we got rid of those humans. Let's go ahead and... Oh, it already got rid of them. Good. That just leaves the Farine, I believe. Which reminds me, we can get rid of this old template of the Mtok. Yeah, that just leaves the Farine to modify. Sovereign Jazajan Assembly broke off the commercial pact with the sovereignty of Tuxcali. United Nations also broke off the commercial pact with the sovereignty of Tuxcali. And let's go ahead and set up replacing the Farine.
New sitrep.
That will take 3 months. I'm going to hold off on any further construction. This has got about 3 years left. I need to have about 400 banked just in case. I need to call in all my favors to make sure it fails. The deep space construction site for the planned gateway in the Caspadine system is now in place. Once we have the necessary resources, construction of the actual gateway may commence at any time. Another 5 years before that gateway is up on and running. We've got another one in progress, and we are moving in position to build 2 more. After which, I do know I want one in Deneb, and I might go ahead and put one in Poligar because I have shipyards there.
Construction complete.
Caspadine Starbase finished its resource silo. The others should be finishing up theirs in about 6 months, since they were building mercenary garrisons. They finally flipped the next nexus.
Science Division
back.
reports a new breakthrough.
Focused arc emitters. These upgraded emitters are equipped with better focusing lenses, resulting in a more powerful energy discharge. Let's go ahead and knock out wormhole stabilization so that we can activate the wormholes and see where they go. The only one that was using the arc emitter was the Medusa's Gaze, and that puts it into power issues yet again. So if we drop our shields again, we should be able to replace that with another shield hardener. And we will be able to fix a lot of this once we get actual better reactors. Of course, the better reactors will take dark matter. And I believe that is the only ones we're going to need to upgrade. And it's just 2 ships in Strike Force Medusa. Now who died? Another scientist died. The one that was assisting research at Tanab. We'll go ahead and recruit a fresh one. There's another that is 15 to any field. Ding. Does remind me. This one is only 10% to any field. This one is getting a boost to the field they're working on. This one is only 5%. So let us replace him with our new one. And this one will take the place of the one in physics research. The time stayed the same for the 2 of them, even though these are only level 1, because they had extra bonus to research speed.
New species variant available.
And that is our final species to modify for now. Eventually I may come up with something for like the Latrepians, the Ubaric, and the Uthabulans. I don't have any Ubaric. I could probably go ahead and theory craft one for them now. Let's see, we would not want them nerve stapled because we may have the... Actually, we would want them nerve stapled. Not compatible with the communal trait. So they're nerve stapled and good at all of the resource gathering. We need 3 points, so we need a 2-pointer. Repugnant is my kind of go-to. Well, since it's not gonna... Yeah, we'll give them slow breeders. And very strong. So they're really good at generating resources. As for the Uthabulans, we can get rid of their slow breeders, give them weak and fertile. And finally the Latrepians, we can get rid of repugnant for them. They have 3 points left and 2 picks. We can give them quarrelsome. Well, that would affect their usefulness as enforcers for me, but I'm not making them for me, honestly. But giving them quarrelsome gives them 4 points. We could give them fertile as well. That way we have some species we can grow pretty quickly for these planets we're going to spin off. And I really don't need to apply that since I've only got the one. As for the Uthobulans, it would get rid of slow breeders. Let's go ahead and apply that one.
New sitrep.
It'll only take a month. It'll be done October 2nd. And I might go ahead and apply the one for the Latrepians. I'm going to get rid of my Latrepians anyway. Oh, that's really going to fail now. Sovereign Jazzajan Assembly have begun a science nexus. Crash and burn, Jazzajans.
Ships refitted.
Strike Force Medusa has been refitted. What is your power now? 93k. Now, I should probably pay more attention to what this fleet is doing. We'll get over there eventually. I mean, we can travel over there through the hierarchy of Moffith because they are currently our allies in a war, I believe. Well, nope, the Star Realm of Shar is. That's right. But I think the hierarchy of Moffith has open borders with us.
New species variant available.
Completed the modification of the Uthobulans. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the Latrepians. It's only one. It'll only take a month.
New sitrep.
We've connected to the Citizens Confederation of Gavazul.
New species variant available.
And we got the Latrepians. That was our final species to modify. Got more refugees on Unity. Probably displaced an entertainer. It did. Actually, let's go ahead and move them so I can modify them in January. I'm going to relocate him to a place that needs a human. This place needs a culture worker. So we want that entertainer. Let's get our entertainer back. There we go. And in January, I will swap that human over. We're no longer connected to the Glossrahenians or the Genlot Conclave.
New species variant available.
There, we got rid of that one
Construction
human.
complete.
All of these have finished their mercenary garrison, except for the ones that were building black sites, deep space black sites. Oh, this is really going to fail now. Nobody's really supporting it anymore. Allied Multics built a gateway, so did the Fel Null.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Ancient Ruination Glare. Tremendous medium-range firepower will enable our Titans to break through enemy lines. These ancient cannons were once the foundation upon which a galactic empire was built. More naval capacity. Lithoid transgenesis allows us to add lithoid traits to biological species through species modification. That would take about 4 years. I can knock out the habitability bonus in about 2. Get the hyperlane registrar in 10, but this allows us to give lithoid traits to biological species. That would allow us to add more crystal and volatile motes to our other slaves. Of course, we'd probably have to get rid of docile for that, which would up our empire size just a tad, but I think we could handle it. Now let's check the ship designer. We'll go to Medusa's Gaze. Not Medusa's Gaze, the Eye of Medusa. So the Perdition Beam, heavy armor damage, decent hull damage, bad against shields. Range of 250, averages 250 damage. This has higher damage. Faster cooldown, slightly less range. Well, more than slightly less, 10%, half the range. Does a lot more armor damage. Power usage doesn't change. So now to upgrade Strike Force Medusa, we'll take 81 minor artifacts. We'll go ahead and tell them to upgrade. Hippogriff is almost done. It has one more cruiser to upgrade. and it hasn't even started on it yet. But it will probably get its final cruiser started. Oh no, it has a battleship as well. One battleship and one cruiser left to upgrade. It'll probably get enough for those before these Titans get upgraded. Allied Multics built a gateway. Oh look, they've got a Strike Force Medusa and Manticore over here in Molyneux.
Science Division reports success.
Juggernaut. A mobile space base of unparalleled proportions. The Juggernaut ship class takes offensive warfare to a whole new level. Let's get 10% more battleship hull points. That'll take 3 years, 3.5. And let's design our Juggernaut. The Apocalypse. Alrighty then. You have no X-class weapons slotted. Now, this thing can have hangar bays. Alright, at this point, that has 80% evasion, 40 average damage. Less speed, less evasion, same damage. So these two are fairly identical. This fires faster for less damage and has better accuracy and tracking. Now this one has less average damage but ignores armor and does bonus to hull and has the same evasion and speed. So the driller drones are actually pretty damn effective, but that would mean I would need a chunk more minor artifacts for this thing. Let's see. Other than that, we get medium weapons. We're going with whirlwind missiles. For our X-class, we need something that drops shields. We'll go with the mega cannons. Let's get 7 suspension fields for impenetrable shields. And then a whole bunch of ancient pulse armor to really beef up my armor and shields. And let's get some reactive armor so things can't ignore my armor as much. That's 60% armor hardening. So things have to go through my shields and armor, a little bit of armor penetration, but for the most part they have to go through my shields and armor before they can go working on the hull. That gives this thing a lot of resilience. I could go with Strike Command for this, or the munitions plant for this thing to be good at bombarding planets, but I think I'm going to go with Strike Command. This is kind of a carrier. And I don't really need regenerative hull tissue. That only really helps in combat. Outside of combat, this thing has shipyards and can repair itself. We're going to make it a carrier. And there's our Juggernaut, the Apocalypse. It does require a huge amount of minor artifacts, but I shouldn't need to replace it too often, and it will have some pretty amazing defenses. This thing should have a lot of survivability, and it has some very powerful drones. The whirlwind missiles will be working on the armor, while the mega cannons pretty much drain the shields, so that these things can go straight to working on hull. And we're going to go to Deneb and replace this Titan assembly yard with a Colossal assembly yard so that it can build Juggernauts and Colossal spaceships.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Wormhole stabilization. A naturally occurring subspace wormhole is a fickle thing, and its fluctuating energy levels typically make it impossible to travel safely between its linked apertures. There are ways to temporarily stabilize its matrix, however. Let's get started on the Sentry Array, I think. Well, we could go ahead and knock out speculative hyperlane breaching, even though technically jump drives are better at this point. It's still a fairly quick tech. But I think we need to get started on the Sentry Array. That would take almost 5 years. 4.5, actually, exactly 4.5. Now that we have wormhole traveled, can I get a route over to a wormhole? Let's check this ship. Can I get here? Yes, it'll take me 2 years to get there. What about the wormhole over here? Probably not. No, they have stealth detection. Only high stealth detection. And we have high cloaking strength. I don't think there were any other nearby wormholes. The one in the Shala system, gateway site in the Shala system is ready. You're on your way to the Mestros system. We'll go ahead and start upgrading that one. Interstellar Pricarian Coalition declared war on the Fel Null Cooperative. War of ideologies. The Rakutim Imperium are their allies. Democratic Lyran Union and the nation of Selnock Prime are their opponents. Federician League broke their migration treaty with the Interstellar Pricarian Coalition. Soran Combined Clans broke their non-aggression pact with them. Fel Null broke off their commercial pact with the Democratic Lyran Union. And the Miravandians broke their coalition broke their migration treaty with the Interstellar Pricarian Coalition. United Nations of Earth broke their migration treaty with them. Glostwarhenians broke their migration treaty with the Democratic Lyran Union. Got 10,000 energy credits as dividends from the Fortress Legionnaires. You know, let's go ahead and extend our contract, since we just got money from them. Glostwarhenians broke their commercial pact with the Democratic Lyran Union. We had a fight in the Bergaffa system. The autocracy of Rakaron took out something. Ah! They have claimed the system for us. Our allies have finally made it over here. And this is a system I have claims on. They're in the process of bombarding the stronghold outfits. Now we do need a lot more exhaustion from them to be able to get this now, since I have made a claim. I noticed I actually have a deficit of dark matter. I am consuming 0.25 from star bases. So I checked this star base that had swapped hands. It has a dark matter listing post. This thing has a detection strength by itself without the need for modules. That's really nice. 6 detection strength just by itself. Gets it up to exceptional grade 1. Nation of Selnock Prime has already gotten all the way over here. Glostwarhenians broke the migration treaty with the Interstellar Pricarian Coalition. Our spies report that the Star Realm of Shar is close to possessing enough information about the L gates to unlock the one they control. This would give them access to the L cluster and its secrets. If we are to get there first, we must double our efforts and find more insight into the L gates. Well, I had a message from somebody else being close a long time ago, and they haven't opened it yet. Hierarchy of Moffith built a gateway. Miravandian Coalition entered a migration treaty with the allied Multix territories. The Jazajan envoy, Habik, has been exasperatingly tiresome in her efforts to represent Jazajan interest in unity. Right from her first arrival, she has shown unremitting hostility toward the feudal empire, unleashing an almost constant barrage of objections to our policies and actions. So great an irritation has she been that few would weep to see the back of her, and we have heard whispers there's a group of human loyalists are plotting to expedite her demise. Allowing this scheme to succeed would certainly be convenient. but allowing foreign dignitaries to be assassinated in our realm might not be the best of looks. So that would reduce my diplomatic weight. The human ascendancy movement protected our interest modifier will be added for more faction approval. I don't think we need to stoop to assassination. This will cost me 30 influence, but so be it. We will not stoop to such measures. Snuff out the plot. We're going to renew our contract with the curators and renew our contract with the Fortress Legionnaires. We've already renewed our contract with the fleet, and we cannot share technology for another 7 months. I think I will just wait another 10 years and do it in 2410, sharing the technology, because by then we will have knocked out the battleship hull points at least, if not more. But it has been another 5 years. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.